Hey, good afternoon. How's things? Goodness me, Friday again already. These days and weeks just fly by, don't they? It's, a bit crazy. I think this time last week, I'd just done the takeover. And of course, we were travelling back up from Hobbymaker on Friday, weren't we? So it's all a bit crazy. And now everything's out and on its way to you. Some of you have got it. Some of you are all parchment crafting as well. So that's really good. But today I thought I'd bring it back a little bit and I'd go straight in and do a tiny tile with a regular tile. So if you're up for it, of course, if you don't have to. You can draw the tiny tile or the square in the middle of the regular tile. So don't think you've got to sort of do it exactly the same. It's just something a little bit different. It's a bit nice to sort of try, isn't it? So are we ready? Oh, you might notice as well, I've used a different colour here. I'm going to bring in my... Let's have a look at my gel pens. I'm going to draw with gel pens today, just for something a little bit different. So I've been trying a few colours there. Still got my pencil, of course, my tortillon, my white pencil, all the rest of the things that come with it. So, shall we make a start? We'll get going. So, all right. Okay, first thing then, I'm going to turn my tiles around, of course. This one, I'm going to put in the middle. So, your choice. If you want to create a shape in the middle that's square-ish, you can do that. But if you want to join along and use the two tiles, it's fine. This means this one you can lift it off a little bit, or you can mat and layer it and add it, but it really doesn't matter. I'm going to come in with my purple gel pen. But again, if you want to, you can come in straight away and use your pen or pencil to mark it out. It really doesn't matter. Here we go. Now, of course, we know with anything gel pens, they're going to take a little bit longer to dry than your regular fine liner pen. So just be aware of that. And see, this one, it's sort of gone over onto the tile. Again, I don't mind that because we're going to be drawing a little bit anyway. There we go. So I'm just going to sort of lift that off carefully. There we go. Okay, so this bit is going to be my tile, so I'm going to draw it on here. But, of course, if you're not using a little tile, this is where you're going to draw it. So this little mark really doesn't matter. Okay, so next thing then. You see that's still waiting to dry there, so we just want to be careful with that. I'm going to bring in a tile, and I want to mark a little border around my piece. I'm not going to sit it on the top, as I usually do, because I don't want that to sort of get smudged. So I'm just putting some little dots so I know where I'm going. Okay. Oh, Christine, you've gone for the dream catcher too. Goodness me. It is lovely though. I do have one here in the office. It's just waiting for a frame, which I will get round to. There you go. And see, I'm just sort of taking my time a little bit here because I say this, gel pens, they are going to take just that little bit longer to dry. So just be careful with them because you don't want to be smudging. I mean, we can work around it, but if you can avoid it, there you go. There we are, that one there. And then turn it round. That one. I know, Sam, they are pretty juicy, aren't they? They're lovely to work with. But I say I don't want it smudging all over my tile, so take my time with them. There we go. Okay, so that's my tiny tile space, and this is my border around the middle there. So that's sort of part done. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stick with this pen. I'm going to go a little bit bigger. And what I want to do is create a little sort of a shape in the corner here. So I'm going to start by coming out from the corner. So it's about, you don't have to measure it, it's about there. Okay, look at the gap there. So then if I turn it round, I'm going to do the same again. And turn it round. I'm going to do the same again. If they're a little bit different, it doesn't matter. And the same again, so from there. Okay, so looking at it. Here we go. I've got this sort of a really odd shape at the minute, but that's because what I want to do now is I'm going to come and do the same thing, but this side. There we go. And then same here. I find it a little bit easier sometimes to draw the curves all the same way and then bring in the others. So we've got a little bit of consistency going on there. Okay, so that's where we're at so far. Okay, so let's have a look then. Next bit, I want to sort of imagine where the middle is between these two sort of points here. I'm just going to hold my tile gently because again I don't want it to smudge, and I'm going to come from here up to here. So again, there we go. All right, and the next one. I'm glad they've turned that noise off. All right, so just turn it round. I'm going to do the same again, so you might want to mark where you think the middle is, ish. And then again, I'm going to bring that curve in and round. And then same here, in and round. Then on to the next. But again, just want to put a little mark during this one. And then this one. And then the last one. Putting that little mark in. Let's bring it round here. And then around here. So we've got a little bit of a frame going on there. Okay. So if I was to put my little tile now in the middle. There we go. This is what I'm going to sort of be working on. Okay. There we are. So I'm going to just switch to a different pen now. So I've got this sort of almost brown rosish kind of colour. And again, you can do this with a black pen. Doesn't really matter. I think I'm just going to turn that round. There we go. Slightly bigger one side than the other. That's okay. All right. So I want to just sort of give myself a bit of a pointer. I need to know where the middle is here. So before I come in with pen, I think I'm going to use my pencil. Let's just take that off for a minute. And of course, if you're working with your regular tile on its own, you can just do this straight on the tile. Just put myself a little mark there. And a little mark there. I know where the middle is now. There you go. So I'll put that back on. Okay. So I'm going to come in with the slightly different colour pen. It's that sort of rosish colour there. This Vicky is 5 centimetres square-ish, but they've been cut by hand, so they might be a little bit different either way. All right. So what I want to do now, I want to sort of use these points to help me create some shape for the centre. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come from here down to the centre, or I can go centre up. You see? So if you wanted to as well, doing both at once, I'm going to go from the centre now to this side, or down, whichever works. There we are, to that side. Okay, so you've got this kind of shape there. There we are. So looking at the next one, from there to there, from there to there. So again, we've got that sort of continuation onto this one. Again, just going to line it up there. From there to there. And there to there. See, sometimes doing that sort of little plan and practice curve first, it does sometimes make life a little bit easier because your sort of hand knows where you're going. There we go. Same with this one. So I'm going to work on this one for a minute. I'm going to leave this one. As I say, if, there we go. I'll take that one off. If you're working on the larger tile, you're going to be doing the same. So there we go. Let's go a little bit larger. Okay. So I'm going to work in this little bit first. I'm going to come on in and create a little shape. You might just want to watch the shape first. So I've got this sort of V shape, and then I'm going to put a little line on the top like that. Okay. And then I want to drop the sides a little bit. And I'm going to do another. First this one. And then that, you know, until the ink dries, just look how shiny that is. It's lovely to work with, look at that. Okay. It's just a little bit different, I think, working with gel pens sometimes. It's nice to change things up a little bit. I know we like to use our black a lot, but it's nice to sort of have a little bit of a difference. Like a little option, maybe. Just taking a bit of that pencil away. Don't want to blow that. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to work to the next one. I'm not going to go this way because my hand's going to be over this. I don't want it to smudge, so just be aware of that. I'm going to go this way, but you need to go which works for you. Remembering I'm left-handed, so you might find a little bit easier if you go the other way. Oh, I've got a bit of rubber now on my pen. There we are. So there's our little shape again. Then here we go with the two lines, drop it down both sides, and then drop it down again. Now if you find yours a little bit wider than mine and you can't do that, then just put two in there, it's absolutely fine. You might, you know, find that you can get more in, but you fill it up as you see fit, however your piece works. There we are. Then back in, on each side. Oh, a bit wobbly there. Oh, so it is a bit Art Deco. I did think that last night actually as I was sketching it out. I've not done anything sort of grid. It's not grid-like, but it is for a little bit, and borders, so I wanted to change it up a little bit. Then into this one. And same again. So you're working it down to the middle, putting that line in. And then, oh, I didn't do that one at the same time again, it doesn't matter. Just do find that the lines sort of are a bit more consistent if you do them at the same time. There we go. So that's sort of our starting point there. I'm just going to move that to one side now, and I'm going to bring in this one. I'm just going to give that one chance to dry a little bit. Oh, it's nice to know everybody's delivery's arriving. Hopefully with all the products included. We really do our best, we do. Sometimes I know, yeah, we miss the odd thing, but we get there. Okay, I'm going to work in these little sections here now. So I'm going to come a little bit larger. And I'm going to start sort of from the centre and then work out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a line from the point and just giving it a little bit extra at the top there. I'm going to do the same on this one, just so I know which way I'm going. Okay? So then I'm going to work from this side, and I'm going to create another line from this point here, and then I'm going to come up and just pull it out a little bit. And then back to this point, from here to here, and then this bit. So I'm always going from the same point, but I'm coming a little bit further down each time. I'm not worried too much where it goes in the middle. Maybe get one more in. There we go. Okay. So I'm not gonna do anything there. Now sometimes you can add a little bit extra on each side, but I'm gonna leave it like that. I quite like just the simplicity of it. And then I'm gonna come this side and do the same from that point along, from that point along, that point along. And if you're using a regular black fine liner, you're going to do the same thing here. What you might find is your lines may be a little bit finer. Get another one. No, I'm going to leave it at that. So you might get a few more in, but that's absolutely fine. Let's just sort of see where it goes. Now remember we started in the middle, so I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to start in the middle, come out. I'm doing one on that side as well, so I remember which way I'm going. And then the next one, this way, and then this way. You see how it starts to form this lovely little pattern in the middle. It's a real nice little tangle, this one. We're going to use it in a slightly different way in a minute as well. And then this one. Okay. So again, just be aware if you're using your gel pen that you don't want to be smudging it. So I'm working so my hand is outside the tile, it's not going over it in any way. When you can't really get any more, then leave it, that's fine. On to the next one. So again, working from the middle, I'm going to pull out. And I'm going to do the same on that one. And then work on this from the point out. Or you could go in to the middle, it doesn't matter which way, you could do it that way. And that way. You get the same result. So whatever's best for you. And the same on this one. Yeah, I kind of like working from the point out, I think. I'll say you can do whichever you like. There we go. Maybe get another one in there. Into the next one. So, working those two center ones. And then point out. You see, it just sort of creates that little shape there. You see, because my hand's working on the outside of the tile, I've not had to touch anything on the inside. I've not really got much of a smudge there. And the same on this one. And in we go. You sort of see how, there we go, it's working that way and that way. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so it's really nice, isn't it? And you've got that real sort of darkness in the middle, because that's where I've sort of started those points from. So there we go. Let's make this a little bit larger now. I want to work in these little points here. So again, just being aware that you don't want to be smudging your work. I'm going to start point, this is the outside edge, and I'm going to work in. And let's bring in one of those little shapes there. And then into the outer edge. And we're going to bring in two little ones. Now, if you can get in a fifth. See, I'm just going to join it that way. But you don't have to. If you find that you've not got enough, don't worry about it. It's like the sort of tassel on the end of a curtain, isn't it? Just giving it that finishing touch there. There we are. See? Just bringing each one down to the next. Don't worry if they're not the same. You just want to be getting something that looks a little bit similar. So you're getting that kind of continuity, but we're not after everything being exact. Into the next one. So you see, sort of into this one, and then along and along. Okay. Sort of a little bit tassel and swag like, aren't they? Now I do have an alcohol marker with me today. It's sort of the similar colour to this. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could be any pen. It's just, I wanted something similar because I'm going to bring this one in now. Now, even if you're working on the same tile, it might be nice to do it. It's entirely up to you, as always. And what I want to do is I'm going to fill a little bit of this in. So let's bring in a little scrap of paper because I don't want to be drawing on my board. And what I'm going to do is add in colour all around the edge there. I'm just going to gently go around this little design here. See a little bit in there. Whatever you've got, you could even do it with coloured pencil. Okay, it's got a little bit of shape to it then, hasn't it? And I see where I've sort of stopped and started. Alcohol pens, it's best just to keep it going. And you're not going to get that line. There we go. Sort of same on this one. Fill it in. And of course, if you're using the same tile and not got a tiny tile, then just be careful you don't go over the edges. We don't want that. We want to try and keep it, if we can, all in one bit. There we go. And on this next one, so you just sort of bringing that in there. The alcohol markers work great for quite a lot of things. Just giving you a blanket plain colour, they work kind of well. If you've not got quite a blanket of colour, let it dry off and then see what it looks like. You still think it needs a bit more work, then do another layer. That usually sorts it out. But don't sort of keep colouring over the top of it because you'll just end up flooding the whole thing. And we don't want that. We want a coverage. There we go. We've got that kind of design. And again, you could have done that complete with black pen if you wanted to. So entirely up to you. So back in with the rosy gold colour that well, the rosy pink that I used earlier. Hi Leslie.
Hi guys.
Cup of tea time.
It is.
Okay. So let's have a look at these little shapes now. And I'm going to start in the middle and work my way out. Okay. There we are. So let's work this in here. I'm going to create a little curve. And then I can't go all the way to the bottom, you know, like we did with the points earlier. So I'm going to sort of create a curve here. And then here. You see it's sort of working its way down this shape. Sort of each one is following, coming downwards. And it creates a similar design, but slightly different because we're not going to the same point each time. You see? Rose Dobby is most definitely still sulking over the cake. It's not that he couldn't eat one, he'd just make a mess. There we go, I'm just drawing around the edge again with that colour there. And then again, I'm not going to do this one because it means I'd have to put my finger there to hold it. So I'm going to turn it round and go do the next one. I might actually, let's see how it works. Draw this line back in first. So know exactly where I'm going to. And then on here, and just sort of pull it down, creating these little curves. Okay, no rush, you just want to follow the shape and fill it until you can't get any more on. There you go. And then the next one, I kind of liked actually drawing that one in first, so I'm going to go and draw that outline in first. It does look a little bit bandage-like, doesn't it? So, looking at it, doesn't matter which way you started. You're going to get a similar design all across. See, just sort of one side to the next. Now, of course, you can add more tangles into these. Depends what you want to sort of do. You can create different shapes. Oh, Jack, if it goes a bit wonky, just try it in a different way. Try going upside down, working. Instead of I'm working top to bottom, you work at the bottom and go up, or see, try in a few different ways. Try it as a straight line. Or maybe you put a line and pencil down the middle, and then that gives you a little bit of a guide. Because this one is quite freehand. Another one there. There we go. You see here, I've got a little bit of a line coming outwards there. That's okay. I can go back in, see, with my alcohol marker, or not, preferably not the chisel end, and fill that in. It's because I'm not sort of got my head over the tile. It's sort of at an angle, so I can see these things on camera, but I can't always see them when I'm doing it. Okay. So with that done, I'm going to leave that one just to dry off a little bit, and I'm going to come back to this one. So let's have a look. You can see it's dry. Oh, look at that, a little bit of sparkle there, a little bit of glitter in there. So I'm going to work on this one with some pencil. Just a regular pencil. Though you could bring coloured pencils in if you like, if you want to do something a bit different. Or we could even use the white. Actually, I might use the white. Yes, let's do that. So, nice and gentle. I'm going to come from the corner and I'm going to pull up. See? And add a bit as I go. I've not done any in here, just in this top section. I actually might come back and do alcohol markers there as well. Let's see how this looks first. There we go. That's nice. Just make sure that your pen's dry before you do this. Same here. Now you can blend this out if you want to, but I'm not gonna keep it just sort of where it lands. Hence I'm sort of more flicking it in rather than, let's have a look at this. Okay. Oh, Tina, the diamond dots, have a look on Hobby Maker. I don't know if it's still on there. Other than that, if you message Diamond Dots UK, I think Angie will be able to point you in the right direction. Okay, same in there. I do actually have two butterfly diamond dots. Actually, we're trying to get to the channel. It's not up to me kind of thing. I license my artwork out to them, so sell them. But the butterfly ones are gorgeous. If you've got my butterfly stencil, then if you have a look at the front cover of that, that's what they're like. You See, I'm always flicking from the sides there. I'm pulling outwards. Always flicking from the sides. The same here. There we go. Now you can do this with a regular pen, or you could do it with pencil, but I'm coming in with my marker again. Just going to fill in those bits at the bottom now. I'll take it round. I will actually email Diamond Dots and ask them if they're going to be bringing those to the UK. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Well, Christine, that'll be what it is. It's the Dream Catcher Diamond Dots. It's the eye and the 2 butterflies. There you go. And this one. See, just adding that little bit of detail in. Instead of shading it, we're going in with a blanket kind of colour. Just gives it that little bit of something different. Let's have a quick look at where we're at. You see, it just gives it that little bit of a change, doesn't it? So I'm coming in with a regular pencil now. Let's go a bit larger again. And what I'm going to do is add some to the point of each corner. Just a little bit in there, just in that top one. Doesn't need much. In the corner. Okay. The points. And then that middle one. Same again. Nothing there. And I'm also going to add a little bit around the outside edge. And because I've got a tiny tile going over the top, doing it inside won't help, because you won't see it. But if you're drawing it as one tile, then I'd put some of this pencil on the inside of the line as well, and soften that with the tortillon. So you're getting a little bit of a shape going on. Okay, tortillon then. We'll start with these points in the corners. I'm going to pull it up. So gentle. I just want to give it a little bit of shape there. I'm not putting too much pressure on at all. Just want it to be a little bit of points. And yeah, Alison, there's not going to be classes in September. We looked at the dates, and they either sort of clash with just before or just after a Hobby Maker show, because we have to pack as well for those. And well, one of them's actually on a Sunday, and then the last weekend of September we're at Kent. But what we have done to sort of compensate for that, we have put dates in October a little bit earlier, so you don't have to wait till the end of the month for that. But I do believe in October, I think the Saturday is fully booked. I'm sorry about that. I meant to advertise it today, but there's some spaces on the Sunday. And then we also talked at the last class about trying to get things booked in advance, because your hotel's cheaper if you can do that. So we've also added on November and December class dates. So if you're interested in those, they're on there now. Don't look under classes, they'll look under store. I'll just put them straight into there. Okay. Sort of working it around there. Just taking my time. I don't want to sort of move it too far. Let's have a look at that. So we've got that kind of shape. Those little swags in the middle there. And then I'm going to bring this one back in. So again, you might be working on the one tile, but because I'm working on the two, let's have a look at this. Just wanted to make sure that my ink was dry there. So here we go, I'm coming in with pencil now in the middle of all of those. And same sort of along all of those. So do all those first. And then this one, you've got variations of shading. We could add a little bit on the inside of these. See, not too much. Just giving it a little bit of shadow in there. That should be that way. Then that way. Good job, I'm doing it both ways. So you've got this little bit of a zigzag going on each side there. And then just a little bit down the edge. So, next one then. Again, just a little bit. This side's here. So you're sort of getting this like zigzag effect in the middle. There we are. And then a little bit down here. Not too much, I'm not going to go over the top with that there, but I can always come in and add some if I think I need a little bit more. There we are. Same on this side. Just a little bit of it. Again, you could do this with colour pencils if you want. You don't have to use just a pencil. You can mix and match it. I'm back in with my tortillon. And again, I'm just going to pull some of that pencil out. Same here. And this one. Now this is something that you could have mixed and matched any colour. You could have used the sorbet tiles if you wanted. You could do something a bit more pink and purple with those, or yellow in the blues. Well, I've gone with the earth tiles for this. Hence I've used the brown alcohol marker. It just gives it a little bit of a different feel to it. And then I could have used a black and a white tile. That would be quite nice. Oh, thank you, Rose. Did I miss one? Oh yeah, I'll come back and I'll do that in a minute. There you are. I always do that, don't I? Always. There you go. Get so involved in what I'm doing, I forget. Oh, Teresa, sorbet and green and lilac, that'll look nice. That will look nice. I've got one here I've used, I think what I did use, I've used the darkest brown, like the bitter chocolate colour, and a cream tile, so I'll show you that in a minute. So you can see how they sort of look a little bit different. I think I used the cream gel pen in the same sort of pinky colour I've got on here. There you go. Let's pull it down a little bit. Now you don't get the, obviously the blackness using a different colour pen to draw with, but sometimes it's nice to have that little bit of subtlety, and we're so used to using that. Having a break from it and trying something different can feel a little bit out your comfort zone, but of course just give it a try, and if you think, you know what, it's not for me, I'm happy with the black pen, then you could always draw another one up. So it's not like you've spent a massive amount of time and resources creating something. You try it in a few different colours, make a nice little sort of mosaic, like a little patchwork out of the ones you've tried. There we go. So I'm just going to bring my white pencil in. So I want to bring a little bit of white to the tops of these here. And again, some tiles, you're going to see this a little bit clearer than others. I'm using the parchment colour from the earth tiles. You see where that, you can see a little bit of the white there. And the same sort of in each of these. I'm going to bring a little bit of colour in there, what I call it whiteness. Again, might not sort of show up massively on camera, but I can see it here, so happy to do that. Again, if you've used a darker tile maybe, then you can see it a bit easier. Same on this one. Just little bits there. Okay, so I'm going to just come in the middle. Just sort of darken that bit up a tad. And I think, let's have a look at that. Maybe a bit more pencil on that bottom edge. Just add that little bit of darkness there. And let's have a look at this with the tile on the top. Let's have a look there. So this looks almost sort of a blue colour, doesn't it, when you think that was a purple we started with. I'm just going to turn it around so it matches best I can. There you go. So let's have a look at this. There you go, something a little bit different. I think I'm going to put my signature. I am going to come in with a black pen to do that, so I've got a fine bit on the end there. There we go, so a little bit different with the brown, but if I bring in this one that I've done, I actually used the, oh, 1 second, doesn't want to come up off the table. Here we go, so I used a very, very dark brown tile, again out the earths, and I've used the cream pen, just like I used the purple there. And then I've used the same colour gel pen here in the middle, but I've used black around the edges there. So a couple of variations, depending on what you want to do and what kind of colour you want to go for. So yeah, give it a go. Try it with a few colours and see what you think. I think they'd, you know, maybe had a couple more and have a bit of play with it. So okay, all done. Goodness me, tile 264. So yeah, put some posts out. Let's see what you do with it. Who's going to try it in parchment? That's something else you could have a look at. Maybe is try it in a double layer of parchment. Of course, as you cut off those little strips on the ends of the papers out your box, you'll be able to try that, but that would look fantastic. So, okay, I'm going to leave you at this point and let you get on with what you're doing. And all being well, have a great weekend. I will see you back here next week on Tuesday at 2 o'clock, just as per normal. All right then, have a good one, everybody, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.